is KFAN News with Chris Hockey, presented by the St. Paul Saints.
Good morning, Zach Halverson here in for Chris Hockey. It's the news on the Fan presented by Saints and the SaintsBaseball.com, where you can find all your information on the St. Paul Saints, including their upcoming schedule and promotions. Some great stuff coming up over at CHS Field. Get down there today, SaintsBaseball.com. Are we ready, Corey?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. Here we go. Minneapolis City Council deliberating on a proposed change to the city's tobacco products ordinance, aiming to set a minimum price of $15 for most tobacco items, excluding taxes. The plan also seeks to eliminate coupon usage, increase penalties for selling to minors, and close a loophole allowing indoor smoking in some establishments. They are emphasizing the public health benefits of such measures, targeting tobacco-related illness and mortality, particularly affecting communities of color. However, concerns arise regarding the potential impact on businesses, with some arguing that against the price hike, claiming it may not deter smoking and could adversely affect sales.
We have learned over the last handful of years that Zach Halverson is triggered by about 5 or 6 different things. The number one being the Coke Freestyle machine.
Yeah, he hates that.
But we've also learned that taxing nicotine, or specifically cigarettes, even though he's a non-smoker, drives him up the wall. So a $15 minimum tobacco product sale or price. Zach, your thoughts?
When we talk about gambling laws, we don't need you to be a gambler for you to want, us to have the freedom to gamble. When it comes to marijuana, we don't need you to smoke weed. We just need you to understand that some people like to smoke weed. So I like to return the favor and say, listen, if we're going to make it, if you want to make it illegal, then we can talk about that. But as long as it's a legal product, $15,
it's already almost that high.
Yeah, a lot of it is stupid.
In Minneapolis, it's already insane. So,
Ben, your hands up.
Okay, so my rebuttal is I am definitely pro human choice on what you want to do on a lot of things. Except maybe when your lifestyle and health choices affect how much I pay in health insurance. So, look, if you want to live a lifestyle where you're going to knowingly suck down cancer sticks,
okay,
get your own health care.
So the number to the Minnesota State Legislature, I can look it up for you. If you want to make it illegal, we can do that. But until it's not illegal, then you don't get to talk about pricing, because now you're meddling in the private sector and private business, and you're taking money away from.
Look, I think anything to deter outside. I get it. If you just want to come down hard and say
maybe
it's illegal,
what we do is we get a big plank, a big wooden plank, and you have to walk on it with your hands out wide, and you have to balance yourself on your way. And then if you can make that walk to the other side, then you can get the cigarettes. We can just keep making it harder and harder. How about this? How about you have to answer?
We can do like.
How about you have to win a game of initials to get an opportunity to buy cigarettes? Where do we stop here?
Well, that would be great for me. As long as I go to initialsgame.com and buy the game
that'd be great.
first, that would be a lot of money for me. That would be fantastic.
That's what we should do. Just get every single cigarette seller in Minneapolis an initials game, and if you want to buy a pack of cigarettes
you can
or initials,
a pack of initials, a pack and a pack,
a carton of initials,
carton.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
finally,
again,
a good idea.
I'm not against making it illegal necessarily. I'm just against making it, trying to, tax the living hell out of people who are trying to participate in a legal product.
Now, if there was a way that they could take that tax hike, that price hike, which is basically just going to be gigantic margin for the actual cost of bringing these products in, if you would take that percentage and give it to the healthcare communities and these companies, I know that's crazy because they already make billions of dollars. Any way that it can reflect on getting lower premiums for people that actually try to make good health choices, I'd be okay with that. Now, I don't have any faith that can happen because nobody's actually going to follow the guidelines and actually do it legally. There's going to be corruption all along the way and people are going to pad their pockets. But in an idyllic world, fine. If you want to increase the price hike, then you got to give the people that are trying to make better choices a little bit of a break.
Is the Minneapolis City Council not factoring in that Meatsauce Paul Lambert once said that the coolest success rate you can possibly have is smoking a cigarette? I mean, why are we charging people so much to look cool? I mean, we're a pretty hip city.
Yeah. Why not a massive tax on alcohol?
Yeah, man. That's not a good choice. And you know how many people, the tax burden on people who drink and do stupid things on that? If we only tax the hell out of alcohol, and then maybe that can go into, a fund to make it so, we can spend less on police.
See, I will Zach, I'll be hypocritical. I would be a little upset if they were gonna increase the cost of booze across the board. But I would say the catch is when I drink, the result of me drinking does not directly affect the people standing next to you.
Sure as hell can, though.
Well, not in a sense that cigarette smoke in any sort of area as I'm walking. I don't want to smell I don't want to inhale your cigarette smoke.
Okay, well, what if I do it privately in my own house?
Go hotbox it in your own car.
Okay, what if I do that?
Hotboxing stuff is sweet.
I mean, we can talk about laws that way, too. You can talk about, treating cigarettes like marijuana, and that you can't do it publicly. We can talk about that.
I'm fine with that, because a lot of people smoke really bad weed, and it doesn't smell good.
I mean...
Yesterday, Abbott ripped us for what he called, quote, pot talk.
Which sounds
and
like
I said, let's start a podcast.
I like
pot talk. I even like the way that sounds. Let's lean into
it. Just rolls right off the tongue.
Pot talk.
Yeah, also, when marijuana I mean, you look at some of these states that have legal marijuana, the taxes is obscene on it.
But,
they're making a lot of money.
We gotta,
But like Nevada, the weed tax in Nevada is obscene.
Ridiculous.
The weed tax in LA is obscene.
Oh, California, they've basically gone back to the black market because there's no reason why would you buy it legally when you can get it for half price from the guy down the road, which, by the way, shockingly might happen with cigarettes, in which case, have fun with that. I'm surprised it probably already does.
It does happen with cigarettes.
Of course.
I know people that do
that's
that.
That's a big thing in Europe.
I know you're not supposed to encourage illegal activity, but I mean, my God, $15 for something that I don't even know what it costs, like $1. Ugh. Well, whatever.
Zach, have you ever thought about running for public office?
No.
Too many skeletons?
I don't have, no. That wouldn't work out. They'll talk about the education. They'll probably pull out the transcripts and read it out publicly.
We already did that.
Let's pull up White Bear Lake transcripts.
How many F's was it? Like
even
17?
Though I'm probably smarter than 70% of the people in front of me, but
wait, in this room?
Wow.
No, in my class.
I was gonna say, I mean, you got sauce, but the other three of us go after yourself.
Yeah, you're not smarter than those guys.
Yeah, not smarter than those guys.
Yeah, leave those guys alone.
Hey, teacher.
I'm the idiot.
You got more? Or was it just the cigarette bit?
I mean,
if the rest of it's not worth it, just skip it.
I will just say, because this is interesting to me and some other people, that the University of St. Thomas is delaying their new planned arena because of environmental impact, which sucks. So we really need that arena, and it's going to be delayed. So lame.
Okay.
I like this. I like this little version of what grinds my gears.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, little Andy Rooney out of Zacho.
Just trying to stay consistent as best I can.
Maybe we should do that. Just like 5 minutes a week. Just let Zach air his grievances.
Yeah.
What's pissing off Zach this week? And it's going to be something so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's going to confuse us all.
Oh, before I do sports, can I tell you what I saw yesterday on my way home, and it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life?
I feel like this is one of those things where we should go to the phones and have the fans vote.
I don't care what they think.
Is this going to be another guy
What are you, Rosie?
with no head?
Great point. No,
is this the Babadook?
No,
is it an alien?
It's a real thing. Real, 100% legit. It's not an alien. It's not a wizard.
All right, there's a chance that this vote is going to be split because there's 4 of us. But Ben, do you want to hear this when we get back or not?
I guess I have to.
That's a yes, Zach.
Thanks,
That's
Echo.
2 yeses, Max.
You know I'm rolling with my boy
Yes,
Sauce,
yeah,
man. Come on
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Then I guess I don't have to vote.
What a tease.
Thank you.
Sauce tells us a story when we get back. So he woke up. That's the beginning of the story, right?
No, because it happened after I woke up.
Power Trip Morning Show returns after this on the Fan.
The Fan.
Win your way into the Miller Lite Vikings draft party. Tweet your draft questions to Meatsauce each day leading up to the NFL draft with hashtag KFAN draft. Then tune in each day to Vikings news to see if Sauce reads your questions for the chance to win draft party tickets. For more info, head over to KFAN.com, keyword contest.
Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show. It is Thursday, so Ben Leber is here. Parker Fox of the Gopher basketball team joins at 8. Micah Nori, assistant coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, ahead of the Suns-Wolves first-round matchup on Saturday, will join us at 8:30. Max is there. Zach is there. I'm Corey Cove. That's me, Sauce, Paul Lambert. Sauce, you said you have a story you would like to tell us. We voted. It was unanimous, kind of.
Yeah. Well, you're the only one that didn't want to.
Well, but maybe. How do you know I wouldn't have said yes?
Because you hate me.
We'll see at 1 today with the program password draft. My draft board is complete.
If you had the
I have
last
them ranked 1 through 8.
If you had the last pick and I was the last one on the board, you'd just say, I'm not playing, and you'd walk out.
I'm not happy right now
Why?
because you've clearly looked at my draft board.
Yeah, you would. I'd be the last person you'd want to play with.
Pick
even though
8
we're
simply
2-1.
says walk out of the draft.
Pass. Yeah, whoever is playing us would get a first round bye.
Yep, it says pick 8 says make up medical diagnosis.
Yeah. Pass out.
Oh, pass. Okay, I was just going to ask about that.
I can do that. I black out all the time. Maybe I just will have a medical emergency and you guys just let me out of the tournament altogether.
Just bring Coke Zero.
Maybe. How come, Ben, how come you're not draftable? How come you're not one of the 8 pickable players?
It's when he's on.
Yeah, I can't because
Of course you can.
No.
You could take a day off.
Well, they could play it at 12:15.
Sure. We could work around your Twin Cities live schedule.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but these big boy jobs I have now, they come with just a certain amount of vacation days. I did not know that.
Oh, really? What a waste of time.
Lame.
Yeah.
Real lame.
Nobody should tell you what to do. You're Ben. Sauce, go ahead.
Okay.
Yesterday you woke up.
No, so I left here yesterday about 10:30. And I'm driving home.
You did an hour and a half of ripping?
Yeah, you were there. You got ripped.
I know.
Everybody got ripped. So I'm driving home on Highway 100. And I get off on the road that I get off on to go home. And it's right by what used to be the Edina High School, right? Ben, you know that area very well.
Yep.
And I'm not making this up. Now, this is a visual thing, which I know sucks for radio. But there was a guy who was walking down the street, and every 2 steps he would take, he would pop down and twist left and right. Not that weird.
Kind of like how the
doing
Oompa Loompas dance.
Yes, 100%.
Or like the Dak Prescott workout
Yeah,
thing?
the Dak Prescott workout. Exactly. So and there were it was a
So
nice
bend
decent-
and twist.
Yeah, he would
So do a lunge.
he would do this and then
Oh, I see. Well, okay,
And
so
then he'd go
a half
1,
squat
2,
and a.
then,
Okay, so he's doing some kind of exercise.
yeah, fine. More than I'm going to do, right?
Sure.
Right? But everybody at that intersection is looking at him. Everybody has stopped before the stop signs and everybody's looking at him. And I'm why? I get it. The guy's just trying to work out. He's wearing these goggles that made it look like he had fly eyes. He was bug eyes. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So much so.
Was he doing performance art?
I don't know what he was doing, but the guy who saw it from who had the best angle of it, almost rear-ended the car in front of him because he couldn't believe it. Because he'd take 2 steps, twist, turn, and then he'd stop and look.
So was he pretending to be a fly?
I think so. I don't know what it was.
Was he in workout gear?
Yeah, no,
was he
like,
actually working out?
He was in like normal clothing. But as I drove,
So he's a crazy person.
But as I drove, now it might have been my neighbor, so I might want to watch out. But as I drove away in the rearview mirror, I could see him still popping and squatting with these like bug eyes on. It was so odd. I don't know what it was.
So you saw a human fly.
Maybe, yeah, Jeff Goldblum, who will be back next week. I don't know what it was. It was super odd.
Great
The story sucks. I get
Compelling
that.
and rich.
But you don't see that every day.
That would have been a great Twin Cities live story.
It would have been.
Yeah. You should find that guy and get him on there.
We
Do
would
you guys ever
definitely
regret
need.
do you guys ever regret how you voted?
No, Maxo loves me.
Yeah, no, that was a great story.
Thanks, Maxo.
Well, it was a great
Yeah,
story for us,
No,
for
it was
sure.
compelling.
It was fun watching you reenact
But wouldn't
it.
you? Isn't that something you would be like people jogging and running all the time? Great, cool. But popping and squatting with bug eyes on is weird.
What if that guy's like a new fitness guru?
Well, then good for him.
Like experimenting.
How was this form?
It was good.
What if he's a superhero vigilante and you're dismissing him? What if he's saving the Twin Cities one crime at a time?
Yeah,
judging him.
didn't Hancock have goggles like that?
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe it was him. That's exactly what it looked like, Maxo. You were spot on. Were you there?
Yeah, no, that's one of my clients.
Yeah. Tied up.
I think this guy's name was Hand.
Okay.
I think there
It's
was
Herbie.
there was a literal and figuratively. They put a D in there.
All right.
Maybe. Is that it?
That was it. That's a great story.
No, it's not.
Great story.
It wasn't great, but I saw it yesterday, and I wanted to tell you guys. And
I don't want your life.
well aware. When I saw it, the first thing I thought of is this is going to be great tomorrow, and then I forgot about it till I got here this morning.
Oh, thank God you remembered.
Thank you, Max.
So glad you
Yeah.
remembered.
That story makes you sound stupid.
That's
not true.
That's not what makes me sound stupid. It's everything else I said.
Stupid genius.
Thank you.
I found it compelling.
Thank
At
you,
a
Maxwell.
beginning, a middle, an end,
Yeah.
rising drama, a conclusion. I
Just
mean,
wish I had a time machine
Why, so you could hear it again?
so I could go back and see
What a
this,
story.
see this feller.
whoa.
Whoa, okay. Don't,
Would you like to do sports?
I'd love to.
It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by All Around Property Preservation.
The Minnesota Twins lost 4-2 yesterday due to a Cedric Mullins walk-off two-run home run in the ninth. That's the Twins' fourth straight loss. They did get a gem out of Pablo Lopez. He went 6, scattered 2 hits. At one point, he retired like 13 in a row. He had 1 run. He struck out 7. The Twins bullpen is brutal. They gave up 3 runs on 6 hits. They are 6-11, and I think I saw our guy Doe tweeted yesterday that they've been 6-11 like 10 times in franchise history, and only once have they ended their season above 500.
You challenged me to a walk-on?
They're off today. They battle Detroit tomorrow at 7:10. Joe Ryan goes for your Twins. That's Twins News brought to you by Quantum Fiber.
Saw 17 hours ago, you tweeted, nice bullpen.
I stand by that.
I'll stand by you.
18 hours ago, you tweeted, Pablo Lopez is a stud.
I 100% stand by that.
I'll stand by you.
20 hours ago, you tweeted, draft thoughts. No other team looking for a quarterback in this draft has 2 first-round picks, so the Vikings have the best offer to any team looking to move back, and that's why a trade should happen before the draft.
I 100% stand by that.
I'll stand by you.
Oh, that's a quick question for our mock draft that we're going to record after this.
Yes.
Are you going to allow a trade? Like, how should we do that?
Well, if we allow trades, then we're only going to go to the 3rd pick, right? Or the 5th pick.
That's true. Well, I think we should do 2 versions.
Okay.
I think that we should just
we'll discuss both of them. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you,
okay.
man. Yeah.
All right. I think that we should go all the way to 23, like
Which
you
we
said.
will, yeah.
Which you said already. And then I think that we should do a second one, a quick one where, okay,
Yeah.
what happens if...
Yeah. We'll discuss it as
Here's
we
the
go.
flaw in the allowing trades argument. Let's who's got like picks, I don't know, 17.
17? 17 is the Jaguars.
The Jaguars. All right. Who's got the Bears? Who's picking number 1 in our mock draft next week?
Ben.
You are?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
I'll give you 46 first-round picks for the first pick in the draft.
Deal.
Okay? I'm taking Caleb Williams.
That's how that should work.
I don't get it.
Why would I care what I give up in a mock draft? I'll give you 46 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's why we don't do trades.
That's why you don't do trades.
Right.
Because then you
It's
can...
fake.
It's fake equity.
It's a fake exercise.
I'll give you this first round and that first round and next year's first round and 16 second rounders. Okay, whatever.
It's a little bit like Monopoly money.
It is Monopoly
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
yep.
But we have to discuss it in our mock
yes.
No,
draft.
the best way to do it is the way we've always done it, which it's all right. If the Patriots stay at 3, they're going to take J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
But if I'm in this spot, I'm looking to... You say what you would do.
Yeah, that's why
I would try to trade with this team. I would try to trade with that team. I would try to move down to this spot. But if I have to stay at 3, I'm taking blank. That's how it works. And then we waste everybody's time for an hour and a half and go home.
Yeah, it'll be great.
It's fun.
It's my favorite day of the year.
It is. It's your Super Bowl.
I'll keep going. Maxo, the Wolves play their first playoff game this Saturday against the Suns at Target Center at 2:30. The Wolves are 1.5-point favorites in that game, but they are underdogs in the series.
Yeah, I mean they are 0-3 against the Suns, but I still see them coming through. I just don't think Anthony. They've been kind of aberration games. Anthony Edwards has not been very good against the Suns at all this season. I think you can't keep him down for 7 straight games or 4 straight games or however many games long the series is. So I still think that they're going to come through, man. If Phoenix is tough, I think the Wolves are going to have to go a little bit small ball, maybe not do the because usually they pretty much have like Cat, Rudy, and Nas. 2 of those 3 on the floor at almost all times. I think they're going to have to go more small ball. Maybe even, might be blasphemous, might sound stupid, but maybe even consider starting Nickeil Alexander-Walker instead of Mike Conley. I don't know, just because, I mean, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, looking at the stats, he's done really well defensively against some of the Suns' best players, particularly Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. So he's going to be really key, and our wing defenders like him and Jaden McDaniels need to make a big impact defensively because that Suns team is just high-powered, and we've seen it. The Wolves have the best defense in the NBA pretty much all season, and the Suns have still just shot them off the floor 3 different times this year. So I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, their defense is going to be huge in this series. So I expect Nod to get a lot of minutes out there, and yeah, so I think they got game 1. Like we've talked about, the momentum, for the momentum's sake, for confidence sake, just for the flow of the game.
You got to punch back.
You got to punch back. And at the very, very, very least, make it a close game, because none of the games against Phoenix have been close thus far this season.
You got to you've been knocked down 3 times. You got to get back up and swing.
Right, 100%. And I mean, just imagine the Target Center, it's been rocking all year. It's going to be a next freaking level on Saturday. I'll be there. I'll probably be doing fan line from there, so that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's gonna be next level, and that place is just gonna explode if the Wolves come out there and just punch the Suns right in the mouth.
Nordo and I will be the pregame to the pregame, and we will have AP Sports Guy right at noon on Saturday.
Hell yeah, and it's 420. What a better day to have the Wolves' first playoff game.
Blaze it.
Yes, sir. Not me though. I'll be stone cold sober. Not me.
Obviously.
We had 420 will happen during the game as well. Because it's a 2:30 start.
Whoa, man.
It'll be what, third quarter?
420?
Third quarter-ish?
420-ception.
Mind blown.
Maybe early 4th?
On it.
Yeah.
Blunt-Smirkers only.
Wales. Oh, yeah, Blunt-Smirkers.
The Wolves only have like 2 wins against the Suns in the last, since
That's
like
not good.
2021.
That's not good.
That's not good at all. But again, it's hard to just dominate a team that much.
They're going to win.
I expect the Wolves to fight back 100%. This is a not only a winnable series. The Wolves will win this series. Mark my words.
We had 2 more play-in games last night, Maxo. The Sixers beat the Heat 105-104. The Sixers will play the 2nd-seeded New York Knicks. The Bulls beat the Hawks 132-116. So
131.
Oh, whatever. Who cares? So tomorrow the Bulls will battle the Heat for the final seed, and they will get in to play the Celtics. And the Pelicans tomorrow will battle the Kings to see who gets to play the Thunder.
Yeah, it's tough for both the Heat and the Pelicans, because it's looking like Zion Williamson is not playing for the Pelicans, and it's looking like Jimmy Butler might have got
hurt.
Yeah, Zion's. I mean, and it sucks because he had 40 points against the Lakers. He had the best game of his career. He was amazing and brought them back into that game. And it looks like the Heat have some Cinderella to them almost every year. I mean, they went from the play-in to the NBA Finals. So I think the Cinderella bit is over. With no Jimmy Butler, pretty much no chance. I mean, the Bulls aren't that good of a team, so they could probably beat the Bulls. But once you face off against Boston, which could have been an interesting series if Jimmy Butler was healthy, I think that'd be a sweep. So tough luck for Miami, but freaking Philly versus New York is going to get greasy, man. That Philly team was up at the top of the Eastern Conference for most of the year until Joel Embiid got hurt, and that's why you saw some of those teams in the Eastern Conference on that last day. They did not want the smoke. The Bucks were not trying to win their game. The Cavs were not trying to win their game. Nobody really wanted to play Philly. They didn't look the best last night because Joel Embiid is still ailing. But if he can get back healthy, man, that series is going to be a hell of a series.
Well said.
Do you guys care about the play-in tournament? Did you guys watch it at all?
I don't care about it.
I watched
Not into it?
No. You?
Not really.
Ben?
Nope.
Zacco?
That's us, Max.
I thought it was. I mean, yesterday for sure because it's LeBron and Steph Curry, and I mean it was the end of the Warriors dynasty. It'll probably be the last time that we see Steph, Clay, and Draymond play together. So I definitely made sure to watch that because that's that's historical, man. Same thing with the Lakers game. So yeah, I like the play-in tournament. It's a lot of drama.
The NBA yesterday announced that they were giving Jonte Porter a lifetime ban for violating the league's gaming rules.
It's a trap.
He gambled a lot, and he is now never going to play in the NBA again. At one point, they said that he gave an NBA bettor to place an $80,000 parlay that would have won the gentleman who bet at $1.1 million, wagering that Porter would underperform in a March 20th game.
Tough break for Jonte Porter.
Right.
1.1 million. DraftKings did not pay that bet out because they red flagged it.
Help me make it through the night.
As I said about an hour ago.
'Cause I am tired.
If David and I are doing the same thing and he's making $179 million for a 5-year contract, life's pretty good.
Help me make it.
And you know what? Speaking of that, I think the NBA should just take Michael Porter Jr. off the team, just to the Nuggets, just in case, in case we don't know for sure what's going on. I think
if Porter's in on it, that the Joker had some gambling ties as
exactly.
well.
Yeah,
sure.
So Jamal Murray and Joker got to go as well.
Suspend them all until we know for
Guilt by
an
blood.
unassailable fact. Suspend them all.
Guilt by
And you heard some stuff about SGA and Chet too, right?
Yeah.
But they were into this stuff. So, all right, the Thunder are out. The Nuggets are out. Celtics probably did some gambling.
I think what you guys are doing is irresponsible.
Yes, see, I get it, Ben. I'm on your side.
Yeah, see?
I'm on your
not.
side.
I want no part of what you guys are talking about.
I don't want any of that smoke. Marc-Andre Fleury is signing a 1-year, $2.5 million extension with the Wild, Zacco. The Wild play their final game tonight against the Kraken.
That's hockey, I think.
One more for the road. We'll really not learn much at all, but it'll be a fun night. I'm sure they'll have plenty of festivities down there at the X. So it's weird. It's weird. Second time in like 10 years or something that we haven't been in the playoffs. So
You are electric.
not great, but go Wolves. I guess the rest of the way.
Vikings news when we come back. Brian O'Neill playing initials
Hell yeah.
tomorrow at 8:15. He makes his initials debut on the Power Trip Morning Show. That's going to be super cool to have a Pro Bowl tackle in the mix tomorrow to play initials. He'll join us around this time tomorrow, so probably be here for Vikings news and then hang with us the rest of the way, including initials at 8:15. But we'll talk some draft and some more with Ben Leber, former Minnesota Vikings linebacker, after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Redco, your truck accessories pro.
Hey, did you guys know the draft is 1 week from today?
It is?
It is. The Vikings have picks 11 and 23 in round one. Ben, on draft night, you're a part of the broadcast, I assume. What are you guys doing?
Well, I think that we're going to sit there on the main stage.
Who's we? You, PA,
Charch and Bursich.
Charch and Bursich. Mm-hmm. You guys sit
We
where?
will wax poetic.
Is this at U.S. Bank Stadium? Where
This
are
is
you?
at U.S. Bank Stadium. On the floor. Big stage. Lots of peeps. Lots of interest. Heard lots of tickets been sold. It's going to be crazy. Lots of beer, lots of food, lots of pomp and circumstance. They will both be there.
All right, let's stop for a second. Think about what we've been saying. The range of anticipation and optimism versus, oh boy, this draft sucked. Can you imagine being there and it's going to be packed and the Patriots are on the clock and all of a sudden we have a trade and the Vikings logo pops up? That place is going to explode. Before the name's even called. It's going to explode, and then it doesn't matter if it's McCarthy or May. They're going to go absolutely nuts.
Yeah. And then I
cool
hope
thing to be at.
I hope that Kwesi, just for the bit, just really slow plays the call in to the very last moment.
Yeah. Wait the full 10 minutes.
Yeah, wait the full 10 minutes. It'll be like trade. It goes up on the board. Vikings now have the third pick. And then I think they just wait, just milk every second of that thing, and then Goodell will just slowly walk up, even though they know. Like when you make that trade, you know.
So if you had to bet, is that what is the most likely scenario? The Vikings pick a quarterback at number 3.
I don't think they go as high as 3.
You think it's 4 or 5?
I'm.
Which one?
Well,
what's more likely?
I think it's more likely 4.
You think it's 4?
I think it's Arizona.
You think the Cardinals are willing to not draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and go down to 11?
Yes.
Hey, Ben, can I ask you another question?
Sure.
A football-related question. So as we piece this thing together and we look at all the packages that teams can provide to get a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And you look at the Vikings, we've talked that into the ground, but we're going to continue to talk about it because the NFL draft is the absolute best. You look at a team like Denver, right? They don't have a lot of draft picks because of the awful, awful trade for your favorite quarterback. I don't think they don't have a second round pick.
They do not.
And you hear people, the guy PA had on talking a lot about, well, you know what they can do? They can put Patrick Surtain, who's 24, into a trade. But if you're a team like New England and you know the goal to put this thing back together is to get as young and cheap as possible, right? Why would you take on, as good as he is, why would you take on a player like Patrick Surtain in his last year of his contract, and he's probably going to be the highest paid corner in the league a year from now?
It's a good question. And you have to debate and talk internally that, do you think Christian Gonzalez, who they drafted last year,
who we all wanted.
Yeah. Very good player.
Yeah, very good.
Do you need to pair him up with a guy like Surtain, or do you think Jonathan Jones is good enough for now? Enough for now. I don't know. That's obviously a question that they have to ask. I think the likelihood of both Paytons,
butthole eyes.
I think the team Payton, I don't think that they have enough to move up.
I don't think they do either.
I know that they desperately need a quarterback. They want a quarterback. I think that they're really fine sitting at, they're not fine, but I think they have to settle with the reality that 12 is where they're going to be. Now, maybe they move up a spot or two. Maybe they try to leapfrog. Let's say they try to leapfrog us against, go to the Jets or something like that, if we're not moving. But as far as them being players to go up to 3, 4, 5, I don't see that happening.
They don't have the power.
They don't have the power.
And you can say, and we've talked, and PA has brought this up a lot, when we first got that 23rd overall pick, and you say, well, you got to give him everything, because what does it matter? Kwesi might not be here when those picks happen. What does it matter to Sean Payton? Because if he gets it wrong, he's probably going to be out. But you can't say, I'm going to give you this year's first round pick, 25, 26, 27, because if it misses, like the Russell trade did, you're going to have the worst roster maybe in NFL history, right? So I just don't see how that team has the ammo to get up into that 3, 4, or 5 range. Because I don't know why you would take Patrick Surtain as a stud corner, but you're basically just taking their car payment. You're going to have to make that expensive car payment next year.
Yeah, and I don't think that the Patriots or anybody else is looking at their roster saying we're a cornerback away.
Right,
we're a large contract cornerback away from being a Super Bowl contender.
Because you could take Cooper DeJean at the 12th pick or Quinion Mitchell at the 12th pick.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of young guys to pick from.
Correct.
Yes. So I think the likelihood of them moving up, I do worry a little bit about the Raiders just because I think they have shown that they're sort of a against the grain, contrarian, can be aggressive.
I think it's Michael Penix at 13.
In their movements. The thing is, if they fall in love with one of the top four and they think that, okay, Penix will be a consolation prize, maybe we're not super excited about Penix, then they might move up. But the more that we distill this thing down, I'm not sure we're going to have a ton of competition to move that high up.
Correct. And I don't think they can with what they have. And you hear people say, well, wouldn't you rather have you'd rather have next year's pick as opposed to 11 and 23. Why? You don't know what next year's pick's going to be. Because if you go back to last year's draft and you look at Houston, when Houston moved up to that 3 spot, I guarantee you
nobody thought
the Arizona Cardinals were going, and people tweeted this. The Houston Texans from 12 to 3, wherever they went, just gave up the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft to move up for a defensive end. No one thought they would be that good, right? No. So every pick, unless it's the Patriots' first round pick next year, you probably don't know where it's going to be. That's why with the 23rd overall pick that the Vikings have, they can get immediate return on their investment with that pick in Thursday's draft as opposed to a year from now. The Vikings package is the most valuable package that is available to any team looking to move back.
Yeah, it's a girthy, good-looking package. I will say that. Yeah. In the one of the mock drafts, now there's thousands of mock drafts out there. One of the mock drafts on a national level that I just saw yesterday was, we keep talking about, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was like swap picks, add 23 and next year's first. That'll get you up to 3 or 4. And I was even like, okay, if you nail it, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I saw a mock draft yesterday that was, it's swap of top picks, 23 and next year's 3rd round pick. I'm like, if that's the compensation package, you do that
today
1,000 times over.
You do it today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if that's what we're talking about, that's the range of value that we have to give up to move up that many spots. I think that's a no-brainer. You may have to sweeten the pot and use next year's first if there were other teams competing to move up. But like you and I just broke down, I don't think that that's going to be the case.
I think there is a team, either Denver or Las Vegas, that is sitting there going, we love Bo Nix or Michael Penix. We're just going to sit here and we're going to wait because both of them will probably be available at pick 10 or 13.
Yeah. And I was telling you during the break, and I'll regurgitate this thing a couple times over by the time we get to next Thursday. I will say this: the one thing that we are not privy to, okay, we're not privy to the in-house meetings, the sit-downs, the conversations, the personality assessments, and all this other stuff. So when I talk about this, the quarterbacks that I like, it's purely based on what I've watched on film.
Yeah.
What they do on the field. I think Michael Penix is the 2nd best quarterback in this draft, based on what I've watched on film. You have to consider injury history, and I get that. There are red flags all over the place. You put 2 red flags in his kneecaps and another red flag in his shoulder, non-throwing shoulder. That's the biggest risk. If you trust your staff and you're like, look, these things are fully repaired. There's going to be no arthritic damage. You don't have future, issues with his knees from just a bone-on-bone issue. And his shoulder, that was a fluke thing. It's even if he re-injures the non-throwing shoulder, it's going to be fine. If you get the green flag from your training staff, I think that he has the best physical traits to transfer to the NFL more than immediately when I'm talking, short term and long. I think more so than Jaden Daniels. I think more so than Drake May, more so than J.J. McCarthy. But people aren't going to take him because of the red flags.
Yeah,
that's it. I think if you watch the tape, the dude is fantastic in everything that you ask him to do. If you want him to run more, if you empower him to be like, hey man, you're actually really fast and we love your athletic ability inside the pocket. There are times where you can just scramble, and we're fine with that. You don't have to look for a receiver down the field. If that's the evolution of his game, he's as dangerous a runner as Jaden Daniels is.
So let me ask you this. Let's say they stay put and they take him at 11. Who do you take at 23? Because you have to take him at 11, right? You can't wait.
Yeah, you just take him.
Yeah.
Then the best available defensive tackle, edge, or corner. that you get to that point. And I think that's where you focus. You address your quarterback. Now you got to address the interior offensive line or defensive line and probably corner. And if you'll have to feel pretty good about your free agent pickups on the edge. So maybe that's not a first round selection, but I still think that you need to bolster quote unquote 3 technique pass rush on the inside. Find a guy that can be a disruptor on the inside, add a corner. Either one of those solutions at 23, I think, is the right thing to do.
Now, lastly, they move up to 3. Think how short your night is next Thursday.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's like an hour.
Yeah, we'll
be out by 7:35.
Yeah, we'll tap dance a little bit. We'll tap dance a little bit. Talk about the pick and all this other stuff. We'll wait for their head coach GM. I doubt we'll get player to come on. We'll do our obligatory interviews, and then we out.
Yeah, but if the Vikings have a new quarterback, you could argue you're going to do a 5-hour show.
That is, yes.
That it's going to be just pure fire, that we have a new
Abbott
franchise
will want
quarterback.
you to go more than 50. He won't want you to meat sauce it.
No, you can't meat sauce it if we have a new quarterback. And by the way, for the entertainment factor, don't trade for the number 3 pick 2 days before. Do it when when the Patriots are on the clock. We all want to see that logo switch from the Patriots to the Vikings.
100%. But
so much more dramatic.
Yeah, and that'd be great. But what Ben was saying is, I think some of these teams, the Patriots, the Cardinals, are going to realize that these other teams just won't bite. They're not going to bite at that cost, and the Vikings may be the only one calling. That the Patriots, the Broncos are going to go, no, we're not going to give you 24, 25, 26, and Patrick Surtain. You're out of your mind. Mm-hmm. I think that they're going to realize that they only have maybe 1 or 2 suitors.
Yeah, I agree. And then as you already laid out, as far as immediate compensation packages for this year, we offer the best.
The best one.
We have the best available.
Yep. Thank you.
I like that if we do this, we're going to have almost no draft for the next 2 years, though, because we don't have a second and third this year.
We don't have a second next year.
And then we would have to give up a third next year. So we would just be, the cover would be pretty bare.
Well,
be a lot of fun.
If that one person who, I forget what side I was on, if that one person says it's next year's third,
well,
then we're
first.
good.
Yeah, you'd have a first next year.
But then you wouldn't have a second or third next year.
We don't have a second or third this year.
That's what I'm saying.
But you still have a first-round pick next year.
Right, but I'm just saying we would have very few top-end picks the next 2 years. I'm willing to gamble. Right. I like to gamble.
And you know what will make up for it? The free agency. Because they're going to have a ton of cash next season in the offseason. It's going to be a next 18 months are going to be super fun. I'm telling you. They've situated this thing for a reason. Now, if it works, we don't know. And we won't know on draft night if it's going to work. So enjoy whoever they take, right?
Unless it's somebody we don't want. Then let's rip the hell out of it.
Yeah. But enjoy
and Pitchfork Nation. Yeah, let's come out in full force.
Yeah. That was very fun. Thank you for letting me do that.
Are you guys going to do a podcast about more of your draft thoughts?
Yeah.
When are you doing that?
When he's done with his phone call.
So by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, his sex addiction hotline.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just Tommy on the other end.
And your dad. He listens.
Oh, yeah. He just listens.
All right. Parker Fox of the Gopher basketball team should be joining us in a second. Mike and Nori of the Wolves will join us at about 8:30 or so. More with Ben Leber on the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.
The Fan.